helpers aren't going to come out of that door over there. So you got to be really quiet. All right. Who's ready to hear a story? Okay. So, the Israelites were God's chosen people. And while they loved and worshiped Him with all their hearts,
Jesus, you're my superhero.
They began to let a little sin creep into their lives. Little by little, they began to let other things come before God. And they put idols before Him. I mean, look at them. They're taking selfies and they're just worried about how they look. So, God decided He wanted to do something about it. So, He found a man named Eglon, king of Moab. And he thought he'd do the trick. I don't know about y'all, but Eglon doesn't look too healthy to me. So, God decided to strengthen Eglon using these fancy 5-pound weights. 8 pounds? Oh, I'm sorry, Eglon, if I offended you. And since he strengthened Eglon, he raised him up against Israel because the Israelites were disobeying. The Israelites cried out to God.
Let us go! Let us go! Can't hold back anymore!
Let us go! Let us go! Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get back to my story. After 18 long years, God sent Ehud, a left-handed Benjamite, to rescue the children of Israel. Ehud, where are you at, buddy? Are you scared? Are you scared?
So my whole life, I never knew where I belonged. I mean, I don't even know what God's purpose is for my life. I mean, I'm left-handed and I'm a Benjamite. So, illustration, there's dirt, then there's me.
So, freeze. Alright. So, what Ehud didn't know was God had a huge purpose for him. You see, Ehud's left-handed. He's left-handed. And everybody else that was a warrior was right-handed. Since they're right-handed, their sword goes on their left side. But if you're left-handed, where's your sword going to go? On your right side. So make sure you remember that. So, getting on with our story, God spoke to Ehud one day while he was reading his newspaper. He said he had a big job to do. These words from God shocked Ehud. If he succeeded, his purpose would be far greater than he had even imagined. So Ehud took his sword and he fashioned it with a double-edged blade. It was 18 inches long, and he hid it by his right side under his shiny new coat. I mean, look at him. That's a pretty fancy coat. What you think? So Ehud's wife decided she wanted to fix him a lunch. So she brings his lunch in his fancy Star Wars lunchbox. Oh, are you okay? Are you okay? Alright. So after she gives him the lunch, they give a little wave to each other, say bye, and she sends him on his way. Oh, Ehud! Ehud, where are you at? Oh, there he is. Alright, freeze. Now watch. So let's turn Ehud this way so you can see what he's doing. Remember, I told you he hid his dagger on his right side. So the guard is only going to check his left side. Alright, let's see what happens. Go. Let him in.
It's not. It's not.
Let him in. Come on in.
Yeah. Greatness. I am Ehud, the left-handed Benjamite. And
What were you saying?
your greatness. I am Ehud, the left-handed Benjamite, and I come bearing gifts. I brought you this. Tis a toaster, my king, from Target. The lady at Target. She said it's very rare, super exclusive, and practically hasn't been invented yet.
Never mind. Take it away. What was that?
All good things, all good things. Watch now. Remember, watch now.
Olaf is crazy. I like Olaf though. She knows what's going on. All right, Olaf, you can leave now.
Oh, weird cookie.
You picked that one?
I didn't pick her. I think he did. What's the problem?
My king, God has sent me to give you a message. But first, you must send them away. Them.
All right, freeze. So let's have a little fun. All right, so let's see what happens when I turn this guy this way, and I turn this guy this way, and I take his hand and put it right here, and I take his hand and put it here, and I turn this thing on, and put his hand here. Let's get his glasses and put them over here. And let's take this away, put it over here. And we'll take this one away and put it over here. Put his hand here, his glasses up here, and his hand here, and his hand here. All right, let's see what happens. Action. All right, guys, come on. Come on. What is y'all's problem? Get up. Get up. Here you go. I don't know what y'all did. I don't know why y'all throwing y'all's mics around.
Did you see what happened?
Yeah?
Did you see what happened?
Yeah, he's so
I don't.
What just happened? I don't know. Why? Wait. Why was I here again?
Message?
Oh, message. That's right. Oh, hey, is that a chocolate-covered Twinkie? Where? Gotcha!
Uh-oh. Oh, gosh. So, oh, gosh. What is he doing? What is he doing? Is that marshmallows?
That is M&M's.
Is that marshmallows?
Marshmallows.
All right. Freeze. Okay, so I can't just let this stuff sit here. I think let's give Ehud one. Let's give me one. Get that out of your mouth. All right. Here you go, Olaf. Okay. Action.
That is utter. I wasn't holding this a second ago. That is utterly disgusting. Marshmallows.
All right, Eggline, you can get up. How'd y'all like the skit? Did y'all like it? All right, guys. So I have a little story to tell y'all, and it's not really a story. It's I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about myself. My name's Bubba. Well, Thank you. Well, you see, I was raised in the church. I grew up in the church. I used to come here to the campgrounds, and Rashada over there, I don't know where she was at, but she was my salt leader. And you see, one day my mom and my dad decided they wanted to check me out from school, and I didn't know what was going on. My grandma was in the hospital, so I'm thinking there's something wrong with my grandma. And I get home, and I'm only 13 years old. So I get home, and they set me and my sister and my little brother on the swing, and they say, "We don't want to be together anymore." My mom and my dad got separated when I was 13 years old. So I was like, well, since my dad doesn't go to church, maybe I don't have to go to church. So I just wanted to be just like my dad, and I followed him around everywhere, and I did everything he did. And my sister, she kept going to church, and she would ask me every Sunday and every Wednesday, "Hey, you want to go to church? We can go to kids service, we can go to youth camp and stuff like that." And I just didn't want to go. For 6 months, I didn't want to go to church. And just one day, my sister, she goes, Hey, Bubba, it's Easter. Will you come to church for me?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" I finally gave in. So I decided to go to church, and I was sitting there. I remember sitting there, and I was watching the Easter drama, and tears just started coming down my eyes. And I started crying, and I started praying, and God refilled me with the Holy Ghost. And then, so it took me 2 more years after that of praying. I would get home from school, and I would go in my room, and I would pray, and I would read my Bible, and I would go to sleep. And I did that for 2 straight years. Every day, that's what I did. And finally, my mom came back to church. My mom came back to church yet. She wasn't with my dad anymore, but she was back in church, and she was praying through again. And then I remember crying. I was so happy. But I was working at a kids ministry thing at my church 2 more years after that, after I kept praying for my dad to come to church. And it's just the same thing. I'm a guy. I want to be just like my dad. And finally, 2 years after that, I'm working in this kids ministry. And they decide, and so this little girl comes up to me, and she said, "Your dad's at church." I said, "Really?" And I kind of just brushed it off because I had better things to do. I was working with the kids because that's where my heart was at. That's what kept my mind off of everything. But that same little girl, after we were done with their kids ministry thing, she said, Can you come get me? Can you come with me?" And I said, "Sure, I'll come with you." And I went with her, and I walked into our sanctuary at our church, and my dad was on his knees at the altar. He was praying back through to the Holy Ghost, and to this day, he is a Sunday school teacher. He's working with our youth. And I just want to say one thing. Can you stand, please? Everybody stand. We're gonna do a little altar call, but this is gonna be very special. I only want the kids that are from broken homes, and if you're too embarrassed, don't come. But I really want y'all to come and stand right here in the middle, and I'm gonna pray over you. And if there's any other salt workers that are just like me, that are from broken homes, I want y'all to come up to the front and pray for them. So if y'all want to come, y'all can come on.